Our tale concludes in Ichowald. Not long ago, 4 heroes band together and slew the mad Dr. FrankenSummer and saved the lord of the castle. Tonight, however, in insomnic streets below the full moon's glow, 4 more heroes would face the same peril, as FrankenSummer got back up on her feet to pull through on her revenge. Can our new heroes stop the mad doctor once and for all? Find out right now in the frightening conclusion of Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, The Rise of FrankenSummer, Part 3. The heroes emerged from their shelters, hoping to reunite with other survivors in the safety of the tavern. Their names were Mika, a pigtailed young lady who scored straight A's on her tests, her only weapon, a puny pistol. Junki, a young Jedi who dreams of being a master of the Force. Kumin, a mysterious human with cat-like features, cute little black ears that wiggled and twitched above her head, and a tail that responded to her emotions. A cat girl, if you will. And last but not least, Rika, a witch donning an eye patch with a blood-red wicked eye, rumored to be the strongest. The 4 heroes all met up in front of the tavern.
Junki? Is that you?
Asked Kumin. Yep, he replied.
Glad to see other survivors,
said Mika. Just then, some zombies rose from the earth again and began to stalk the heroes. We won't last long out here. Let's get inside and figure this out. So they went inside the tavern and locked the door. There was a radio on the counter. Mika turned the knob and it broadcasted, "The castle has fallen. Approach at your own peril."
This message. I hope everyone got out safe, said Mika. Does anyone know what's going on here?
Asked Kumin. I bet the zombies have something to do with the lord of the castle. And Dr. FrankenSummer for sure, said Rika. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get to the castle and defeat the doctor once and for all, said Junki. So our heroes set off toward the howling castle, slaying zombies along the way.
Are there other cat people like you, Kumin?
Asked Mika.
Yes, she replied. American curls, Scottish folds, Maine coons, munchkins, mixed breed, you name it. However, I'm the last black cat on Earth, she said sadly. Mika, Junki, and Rika all felt sorry for her. Junki, what brings a Jedi like you to a haunted town like this? Asked Rika. I felt a great disturbance in the Force, he replied, and I followed it here to see what the problem was. I see. I'll bet our victory will be the solution, said Mika. When our heroes approached a giant gate, there was a big lock on it. They would then have to search for the key to open the gate. So our heroes split up and began their search. They checked every corner, looked high and low, but there was no key to be found. Until finally... Ah, there it is! Mika found the key. It was rusty, but it would still unlock... The dreadful zombie priestess lunged out of the darkness and swiped the key. Give me back that key, shouted Mika, but the priestess didn't listen. She unleashed her hyper beam. Rika, Junki, and Kumin arrived just in time to take on the zombie priestess. Kumin used Psycho Cut, but the priestess dodged. Junki's blue lightsaber and the priestess ladle were clashing as Rika prepared a spell.
At this rate, the priestess was almost ready to use Erostide to cook her opponents. But at the same time, Rika was ready to cast her spell. Reality rejected. Synapses shattered. Be banished from this world! The priestess screamed in agony and dropped the key as she disappeared into pixie dust. As the wind swept it away, a haunting voice filled the heads of our heroes.
I expected more from the priestess.
Huh?
Who said that?
Asked Junki and Kumin.
Do yourselves a favor. Stay away from the castle, or else.
Guess we found our culprit,
said Mika. Now we put a stop to her, added Rika. So our heroes used the key to open the gate to continue their journey. As they ventured into the valley, there were 7 giant cat statues with their eyes glowing red. The castle should be this way, said Rika.
Does anyone else feel like we're being watched?
Asked Mika. Yep, I've got a bad feeling about this, said Junki. From high upon the ramparts, the giant cat statues shattered their prisons and rained on the heroes below. Their names were Scylla, Carbdis, Kimi, Shiro, Doki, Chiba, and their mother, Chimera.
Please don't kill us. We're both cute and cuddly felines who want to be loved,
said Kumin, trying to connect with the cat statues. But they didn't listen either. Some of them growled, while others hissed and swatted. As the heroes fought, rubble flew from the cat statues and dust clouds filled the area. At last, they were nothing but lifeless crumbled debris as the dust cleared, and the strange voice spoke again.
These were my favorite pets. 'Tis but a shame.
Wait a minute. You don't sound like FrankenSummer. Are we hearing things? Asked Mika.
I assure you, I am very real.
Like how Palpatine returned and was killed by Rey's sky—
Don't even say it.
Protested the voice.
I've blocked the path to the castle, so this is where your story ends.
I believe I know another way through. Follow me into the dungeon, said Rika. So our heroes went inside to get to the castle.
Gee, it's kinda dark down here,
said Kumin.
Yeah, did anyone bring a light?
Asked Mika. Yep, but of course, replied Junki and Rika as they lit up their wand and lightsaber. Suddenly, the heroes started to feel drowsy. They fell under the hypnotizing gaze of another evil. That was the first thing our heroes saw. 4 faceless samurai mannequins, all in a room with no windows and no doors. Our heroes were terrified as eerie voices of children echoed.
They're gonna come to life, aren't they?
Said Mika. The first mannequin moved and was posing its sword as if it were blocking attacks. That confused the heroes.
Scary, yet silly,
said Kumin. The first mannequin was easy to defeat. The second mannequin gained life and began to thrust while standing in place. The heroes were starting to get annoyed, and Mika shot the mannequin from a few yards. The third mannequin moved and had the tendency to evade a majority of the heroes' attacks. Its flaws were that it had no offense capabilities, and it couldn't dodge forever. After a few minutes of trying to wrangle the third mannequin, Junki used the force to hold it in place so his allies could take it down. The fourth and final mannequin was the strongest of them, as it combined all three of its previous one's movesets and acted unpredictably, let alone immune to Junki's force. Our heroes overcome the last challenging mannequin and awoke from their nightmare. The first thing they saw was a dark flame Dracula. Rika rubbed her eye in disbelief. Yuta? You're awake! Thank God! The two lovebirds were reunited at last. What are you all doing here? Asked Yuta. We're here to stop FrankenSummer once and for all, replied Junki. There's something different about her this time, said Yuta. She has plans for the Lord of the Castle and Yumeha. They've been captured, and I can't face her alone.
Then you're lucky to have us on your side,
winked Kumin. Please don't flirt with the dark flame Dracula, blushed Rika.
I wasn't flirting. I was just being friendly,
replied Kumin. I know we can do this, said Mika. Just then, the voice spoke once more.
The dark flame Dracula and the eye of the wicked lord, bound by the lover's contract. I wish you good luck on trying to kick my ass.
Oh, we will, said Yuta. So he joined the heroes and they left the dungeon. The heroes were now at the battlefield where the first battle against FrankenSummer took place. The castle was straight ahead. Told you the dungeon would lead us here, said Rika.
Who's that up ahead?
asked Kumin. In a twist of fate, the summoner stood guard over the castle door she once sought to destroy. Natsumi looked horrible. Her face was still melting, bleeding. Her eyeballs and skull were showing. Natsumi was not happy. Since her brain was severely damaged, she lost the ability to talk. Growled the summoner. Be enveloped in the flames of darkness and die! But the summoner absorbed them and powered up. And she threw the flames back at the heroes. Rika used her wand to catch them and turn them into butterflies. Kumin did a series of fury swipes on the summoner. And Junki used his lightsaber to chop down the summoner, and she was felled again. Stay down. The heroes then broke the door down and went inside the castle. They knew it was not going to be easy defeating FrankenSummer. It was dark, with very little light inside. Junki and Rika used their weapons to light the way again. The first thing they saw was Tomo, lifeless, as she was slouched over. Her eyes were gone. A sword was lodged in one of her eye sockets. Dead. Poor Tomo, said Yuta. The heroes felt sorry for her untimely demise, but had to keep going.
Rika, can I ask you something?
Asked Mika. Sure, go ahead. I feel like I haven't been contributing to the team over the course of our adventure, and I feel like I'm being left out. All I have is this pistol, and it's not doing any favors. Are you saying you want me to upgrade your weapon? Exactly! Please? So Rika waved her magic wand in a circle. First level seal activated. Magical output increased. Be banished from this world! She pointed her wand at Mika's pistol, and it turned into a rocket launcher. Mika's face lit up with excitement. Thanks, Rika. Anytime, Mika. Just then, our hero saw someone approach them. He was T-posing, indestructible, and had no walk animation. His name was Makoto Ishiki. It seemed that FrankenSummer repurposed his body. Mika used her rocket launcher on Ishiki, but he wouldn't budge.
Aw, shoot. Everyone stay away from him,
said Junki. The heroes split up, so Ishiki could only chase one of the 5. After a few moments, he faded away.
Who mentioned that this castle was haunted?
Asked Kumin. Ever seen one that wasn't? Asked Yuta. Stay focused. That thing could be back at any moment, said Rika. The heroes reassembled and resumed their journey. As they rounded each and every corner, they could hear something ghoulish coming their way. It's coming back. Get ready to split, said Rika. But it wasn't Ishiki. This time, it was FrankenSummer's spirit. Wait! I'm the real FrankenSummer, she claimed. The heroes were confused.
If you're the real FrankenSummer, then who's been sending all these forces after us?
Asked Kumin. So FrankenSummer told the heroes who was behind all of the ordeals.
So, it was all her, huh?
Said Mika. I'm afraid so, replied FrankenSummer. I only wanted Lord Kenji to love me. I never wanted to get revenge on him. When the ghost promised me that all my problems would be solved, I thought the deal with her was a good idea. I was a fool. She lied to me. FrankenSummer felt sorry for herself. And now she's going to drain the Lord's life energy and all of Ichewald, said Yuta. Don't worry, the Force will be with us. Always, said Junki. The heroes were now in the endgame. The heroes were getting closer to the final room. All of a sudden, something opened the door to the final room gently. There stood 2 figures overlapping each other with orange and aqua green eyes. Yuta and Mika wondered if they were old friends. Indeed they were. Kuzuha! Yumeha! What did she do to you? Said Yuta and Mika. Kuzeha had a name tag that read, Failed Experiment 1029.
Please help. It hurts,
they said. Did that ghost reanimate them and the zombies? Asked Kumin. Guess I'm not the only inventive one, said FrankenSummer. Nothing my magic wand can't fix. Hold still. Rika used her wand to separate Kuzuha and Yumeha. Yuta and Mika went over to hug the 2 sisters. Thanks, Rika, said Yuta. We need to find the Lord. Fast, said Junki. Someone! Help! He called. That sounds like him. Let's go, said Kuzuha. Within the final room, the heroes found Lord Kenji bound to an operating table, held at the whim of the mysterious ghost. Her name was none other than Hideri Amanishi, the lonely, colorless maiden.
So you finally made it. I'm impressed,
she said.
Yeah? Why's that?
Asked Mika.
Because now I know what I must do.
Hideri sought vengeance for the fact that she never appeared in what could have been Season 3 of the anime if Take On Me hadn't happened. The maiden would drain Lord Kenji's life energy and rule Ichewald if the heroes failed to stop her. To make matters worse, Monster Mori, Sophia the Third, the zombie priestess, the 7 cat statues, the faceless samurai, and T-Pose Ishiki all returned. You're so screwed, yes, said Monster Mori. Surrender now and we'll spare your lives, said Sophia.
How can you possibly hope to stop me?
Asked Hideri. Rika and Yuta looked at their allies.
Like Papa said, as a family, said Rika. The final battle was on. The heroes and villains hit each other with everything they had.
I won't let you fall again, Kuzuha, said Yumeha, and I'll be by your side.
The zombie priestess used Erostide on Kumin and Junki, but they were quick to escape her oven before it closed and cooked them alive. Yuta, Kuzuha, and Yumeha grouped up and fought together against Monster Mori and 4 of the cat statues, evading T-pose Ishiki. Junki was sword fighting the faceless samurai. Rika, Mika, and Kumin were battling the zombie priestess, Sophia, and the remaining 3 cat statues. While all that was happening, FrankenSummer freed Lord Kenji. Shinka? He said. Don't worry, let's get you out of here. Lord Kenji was happy to see FrankenSummer again. After a while, Hidiri's allies were all down. Yuta, Rika, Kumin, Mika, and Junki were all left standing. Now who's so screwed? Said Yuta. The heroes were confident that it would be a more simple fight. But
stand together, die together.
Hidiri drained their life energy and regained her colors. The heroes were now weak and powerless to stop her.
And now, I'm colorful and free!
Rika and Yuta watched helplessly at the thundering sky. There was a green star shining through the clouds. Please, help us, they thought. The green star granted their wish. Reality rejected. Synapses shattered. Be banished from this world. Yuta and Rika got back up. Their bodies were glowing with power. Rika's wicked eye and Yuta's flames were red. Hidiri saw them and drained their life energy. But it didn't work.
No, this is not possible. How are you alive?
Asked Hidiri. You said it yourself, bitch. We are bound by the lover's contract, said Yuta and Rika. And with that, Hidiri was vanquished by their blast of love. The maiden met the same end as many evils across the mega multiverse. A death at the hands of one or more brave heroes. The Lord of the Castle and Ichowald were saved again. Rika married Yuta in the end. Kumin and Junki got engaged. FrankenSummer's spirit could finally rest, and Kuzuha, Mika, and Yumeha became Lord Kenji's new servants. Since Yuta married into royalty, considering Rika is Lord Kenji's daughter, he became Prince of the Castle and was destined to rule Ichowald with Rika when their time comes. And they would always have each other, forever and ever. The end.
So, my friends, what did you think about my terrifying tale?
That was amazing, Dekamori. Your tale was the best one yet.
I agree. I loved the part where you and Tagashi defeated the ghost.
What about you, Mori Summer? What did you think about my faithful servant's tale? Well, that story sucked. As I suspected, it was littered with bad writing, MacGuffins, and lack of lore in some aspects.
None of our stories have to make sense. They're entertainment.
Entertainment my ass. You need to stop telling those stupid stories, Deco. No one believes they're real after all.
Stupid stories? I'll have you know that my tales of adventure and glory are all true! Even that wedding dream Rika had one time, and that cardboard mech battle you had the other?
Especially those ones, yes.
If Sophia and Yumeha were here, they would enjoy them as well.
And so would Juki. He would think ghosts are real after all.
I'm sorry, but I refuse to believe that ghosts are real.
Says the fake magician who could hear spirits in middle school.
You make a good point, my servant. Shut your dumbasses up! Ghosts don't exist! Including that black and white twist villain I already forgot the name of.
Oh, you mean Hidiri? The Lonely Maiden?
Yeah, her. She's completely made up too!
Then why is she standing right behind you?
What? Huh? Huh? They apparently got my character completely wrong. But there's one thing they got right. I'm forgotten, but not gone.